there, I am Gretchen, and like I said a week ago, for 2023, I've been guided to share more of my origin story, so to speak, on how my narcissistic abuse survival ties into my practice. For today's video, I do want to highlight one specific manipulation tool, which is gaslighting. This is a phrase that has become very popular lately, and I personally feel like it's very misused. I think people just use the word thinking it means manipulation in general when it actually means something very specific. The word originates from the play and movie called Gaslighting. And in that story, a man is manipulating his wife in such a way that she will question her own sanity. And he uses, among other things, the gaslights in their home to manipulate her. So the whole concept of gaslighting is to take something that somebody knows is true and convince them to believe that the opposite is true. Therefore, they question their own recollection of facts and their own sanity. So it can be something like, you always put your keys in the same spot every day. And then all of a sudden, you can never find your keys. And you know you put them in that spot. It's been brought to your attention that you keep misplacing them. So now you're paying even more attention to where you put them, yet they're never there. Well, the person who's gaslighting you is moving them and saying, oh my God, what's going on with you? Why can't you remember where you put your keys? You used to remember where you put your keys, and all of a sudden you can't remember anymore. And it's dumb, right? Like, keys, who cares where the keys are? This isn't like a big issue. But once you've established that foundation with somebody, then long term, they're going to have a harder time trusting themselves. So you can use this tactic on bigger issues because you've already built that foundation of someone questioning their own sanity. The ways that it was manifested in my relationship is during the smear campaign. We haven't gotten into the stages of narcissistic abuse just yet, but during the smear campaign, even coming back to me, he would say, remember that time you said this, or you said that, or you always did this. And I was there. I know what I said. I know it didn't look like that. I also had a legal dispute with somebody recently, and all of our conversations had been in writing, either through Facebook Messenger or email. And in her response to the court, she said, Gretchen said this, then I responded that way, and then Gretchen said this. And the first thing was wrong. It was misquoted and completely taken out of context. The middle thing never happened under any situation ever. And then the third thing was a completely different circumstance. Once again, my words were twisted and taken completely out of context, but they were used to build this narrative. So it's taking this version of truth and twisting it around and putting so much other information around it and just establishing this pattern so that the person's like, I mean, I kind of remember saying that, but I don't remember it quite like that. And then if you have someone coming at you, especially in front of somebody else, but even just by yourself, so confident, you said this was the context, this is what happened. And you're like, that sounds kind of familiar, but I don't really remember it happening that way. Imagine the impact that can have time after time after time after time. So you're getting to the point that every time something happens and they come to you and they're like, no, you're doing it again. This is what really happened. Come on, let me guide you. Like, you're going to start to be like, oh God, like, my brain doesn't work at all. I'm so dependent on this person. And then they can start to say anything they want to anybody, and everybody's going to believe it because even you aren't disputing it anymore at that point. So that's what gaslighting is. It's making someone question facts that they know to be true so that they'll question their own sanity overall. Big deal. And a word that should be used properly. All right. Thanks so much.